What's up, Mike Nowstalgia? Dave here with a review of Meowv's debut EP, My Eyes Wide Open. Meowv, of course, the new first girl group debuting on the Black label last year in September with their breakout single of the same name. That is, of course, Meowv spelled with two V's, My Eyes Wide Open, two V's once again. It's a gimmick, but at least they're being consistent with it, whatever. But yes, Meowv is back, and since that debut single in September, they released two additional songs, Body and Toxic. And then the lead up to this EP, the lead single, Hands Up. All of that's to say, 4 songs were already out. We get this project and we realize all those songs are on this, and there's only 2 additional new songs. So really, this is not a lot of new material for Meowv, and unfortunately, that feels just like what we come to expect from YG Entertainment and the Black label. Sparse releases, just infrequent output. This is what happened with Blackpink. This is what's seemingly happening with Baby Monster, at least a little bit, and it's certainly happening with Meowv. Now, they've only debuted 8 months ago. 6 songs in 8 months, that's not unreasonable, but let's see what happens in September of this year and if they actually have any additional songs out by then. I'm kind of skeptical. And yeah, just to get ahead of the comments, because I talked about that first song Meowv when it came out last September, and I wasn't super impressed because I thought it came across as pretty derivative to a lot of YG sounds in terms of the in-house production style that's grown quite familiar, and just a lot of the quirks you come to expect from Teddy Park. And the Black label is a subsidiary of YG, owned by Teddy, but also owned in a minority stake by YG. Teddy still signed to YG. The music sounds like YG music. This is YG music. I don't know why a lot of people have a sticking point when it comes to that, but that's just how it is. And Teddy and everyone else working on this music, not just him, are people affiliated with YG Entertainment. So this is a very distinct section of K-pop that I think people have a opinion of when it comes to the Sonics. Meowv's debut EP, My Eyes Wide Open, continues what's increasingly paramount. Meowv has a lot of vocal talent and inherent versatility as performers. What they are still lacking is creative sonic vision when it comes to the actual music they're making. I continue to not love any of the Meowv songs, even if I can clearly hear their potential. I find a lot of the music still pretty backward looking when you compare it to the history of YG and the Black label's sound. And when only half of this EP is actually new material, there's not a lot of opportunity for that opinion to be changed. Of the 3 new songs, Hands Up, Drop Top, and Lit Right Now, I think Lit Right Now is clearly the highlight of the bunch and the best song Meowv has made to this point. Very groovy drums, a little cowbell touch. I think the chorus is very breezy. I love the way the vocal line really hits over that beat. I think when it comes to the Meowv music we have gotten, the hooks have been the strongest. It's just the rest of the songs are always lacking for whatever reason, whether it's sparse verses or uninspired production. Lit Right Now, though, gets closest for that being a full package thus far. And as I said, this is a talented group. You can hear it in the way they sing. These are powerful vocalists. And I think the rapping, when you do get it, it comes across as capable rapping, even if I think sometimes the rap verses are kind of awkwardly placed in some of these songs. You hear this vocal talent. We just need the songs to be better. This sounds a lot like what we've been saying about Baby Monster, where the talent is very obvious, but the songs have not been there consistently. And, is that a YG problem inherently? Probably not, but it's certainly a problem that YG has right now. So we'll see how that goes. I think in terms of, the stuff that, you'd like about their songs, again, I reviewed Meowv, the single, when it came out, but I think the Shake Some refrain, that vocal refrain, that hook, is the best aspect of that song, even if I do find a lot of the production very derivative and the outro pretty weak. Body, I think, was the best of the next 2 batch of singles they released, Body and Toxic. Toxic, I think the rhythm is just kind of slow. These really airy high notes. The song just doesn't really work for me. It's my least favorite of all their songs to this point. Body, though, again, it has a really good hook. The body ooh part, it's sticky, and I think the rap is pretty hard. Their attitude as performers is very apparent. I think the outro dance break works a lot better than it does on the Meowv single. That leads us, of course, to Hands Up, which was the lead single from this, comeback period. And I think Hands Up is something that, like, it's a song I want to like more than I end up doing, because again, I think it kind of falls away from itself. Where you have this really noticeable drum production with these string touches, it comes across as very like exotic, I guess you could say. And I like that tempo. And I think the chorus, the Hands Up chorus, again, that hook is probably the best part of it about it. But like, I think that song really runs out of steam after that first chorus. So it's like, again, like there's parts of it that I enjoy, but it just doesn't fully come together for me. Drop Top, this one's a bit amusing to me, where it's a slow singing start to the song, and then it really builds itself up to the chorus, and the song really comes alive at that point. I think the drums sound nice. Verse 2, you kind of get a rap verse out of nowhere a little bit. Like, it sounds fine, but like a bit awkward maybe. I do find the song title a bit amusing. Usually when you hear a song called Drop Top, it's a bit more braggadocio and, hard and in your face. But this song actually has a lot of softer singing to it, talking about the drop top being open and the rain falling down. A bit of a switch up from what you expect from that kind of lyricism. And yeah, like I said, Lit Right Now, clearly the best of the bunch. I think the thing too with this group we should keep in mind is like the Black Label and YG's reputation these days as being slow movers, slow decision makers, slow with putting out new music. I don't know how much that's going to help this group. It's a competitive space right now for new girl groups, and all the older girl groups are still around making music, and the popularity, it remains. And not that there's not a lot of room, vast room for K-pop fans to enjoy many groups. There certainly is. But I just think like you need to kind of keep up with the output game and release music at a brisker pace. And again, 6 songs through 8 months is okay, but we need to see it kind of keep up, because I'm just curious, and I'm gonna be watching like how big this group is able to get when a lot of their peers are just putting out music more frequently. So yeah, we'll see like how that goes. Again, I want the group to be better and make better songs because I can hear the talent. So we'll see. Let me know, what'd you think most? What'd you like most about Meowv's debut EP, My Eyes Wide Open? What's your favorite song that they put out thus far? What do you want to hear from them next? And for more music reviews, more K-pop reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.